Hello. All right, let me let people. I. Okay. 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 Alrighty. I let people know I'm live. Hello, Nabiru. I was just wondering. Um. I'm wondering where Silva is. Should I message Silva and see if they're coming? Probably busy with work though. Oh, you're right here? Okay. Well, all right then. Give me 1 second. Of course, Silva. I was actually thinking of you today when I was working on rebuilding my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Because a bunch of cards came in. And I was working on rebuilding and re-sleeving my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. And it's like, I had to re-sleeve because the sleeves I had on were getting super grimy and really dirty. And you know what that's like whenever you sleeve so much, they've got those little dirt spots on them. And like you could go through and scrape off all the dirt spots, but that's just disgusting, you know? Because it gets whatever dirt or oils are on your hand start to get on the card sleeves as you shuffle them. It happens a lot whenever you shuffle the cards as like a nervous reaction whenever you're doing other things like I do. Um and also I got the sleeves used from my roommate, so but now I gotta break in the new sleeves because you know, even with matte sleeves, right? Um they're still super slippery when you first sleeve them up. And it's funny building a side deck when I have no clue what the meta looks like. I'm hoping sometime next month to go to the card shop with my roommate and play Yu-Gi-Oh with his friends. And that's the thing I've wanted to be prepared for. To be to make sure that my deck is as ready as it's gonna get. Because I always want to put my best foot forward, and also my Machinas are my babies. I've been playing Machina since the first structured deck came out in 2010. It took a couple of years off, but it wasn't just taking years off of Machina, it was taking years off of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's funny, like, there's part of me that wants to just order max rarity or higher rarity versions of the cards I already have to make my deck more shiny. And I know it's a terrible plan because that's just going to get expensive and that's just unnecessary. What do the kids call it? Blinging out your deck? That's what they used to call it. Yep. I just saw a meme I gotta share. Shiny! Yeah, exactly. Let me share an image. I'm gonna put it in the... I'm gonna share it here, and I'm also gonna put it in my my D&D group's discussion chat because this is funny. So my D&D character isn't a cavalier, it's not a fighter. but my D&D character is a paladin. Is a paladin warlock, and I have the Find Steed spell, and went and found some really cool art for like my celestial steed. Um, and eventually I want to start taking feats in order to help me fight on horseback. Because I know there's one feat for fighting on horseback. Was it like mounted combatant or something? Yeah, mounted combatant is a feat I'm gonna take. Your dangerous foe will face while mounted. While mounted, if you aren't incapacitated, you gain the following effects. You have advantage on melee attacks against an unmounted creature that's smaller than your mount. You can force an attack targeted at your mount to target you instead. If your mount is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, it takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw and only half damage if it fails. So, like, that's going to be really useful for using my mount in combat because I'm not taking I'm only taking 6 levels in Paladin, so I'm not going to get Find Greater Steed or Greater Find Steed or whatever. So I'm not going to get a super like epic flying steed, but I am still going to have a mount. So I'm planning to take mounted combatant next time I get a chance. But I saw this meme and I was like, "That it's me, me." Okay. But yes, that's gonna be me in a few levels. Just riding down the hallway with my riding down the dungeon hallway in my mount. Okay. So, how was everybody's week? What everybody get up to? My week was interesting. One of my housemates got in a car accident. Well, they were in a scooter. They got hit by a car or something. I don't know all the ins and outs. But I had to go and help them, not help them, but like help with recovering their vehicle. Um, so that happened. Been getting a lot of cards coming in that I ordered, which is nice. I'm sad because the cards I ordered weren't the rarity I wanted, but they were cheaper. Like originally when I put together my list of cards that I was going to order, they were all rarities that I really liked and thought were really cool. Um, but it was going to cost me close to $20. Um, and then I used the TCG player optimize your cart thing. Um, and I didn't select for it to keep the rarity, so it found the lower rarity versions and was able to bring the price down. Like the price dropped down because originally it was going to be like $20 before tax. Um, and then whenever I did the optimize your cart, it brought the price down to like um $13, and then after tax and all that and other fees and other stuff, it ended up sliding up to like 15, 16, which I know that doesn't seem like a big difference, but whenever you're living on like such an extreme budget as what I am, that's a lot of money. Um, that's a good chunk of change. Every dollar counts whenever you live on fixed income, and that's something I have to hang on to. It's like as much as it might bug me sometimes that I have to get the lower rarity stuff, I'm essentially building a collection from scratch because I'm not collecting any of my other stuff because my other stuff's in storage, and I don't want to dig that out because that's just a lot of work. And most of the stuff in my old collection I've either replaced or has been like power crept out of existence. Um, or just cost me a few cents to replace. So, yeah. That was my week. Had some really weird dream. Read a couple mangas, zero substance, little context, plots that appear and vanish. Did they have powers, weapons, or cool creatures? Yup, they were there. Okay. That's interesting. What else did I work on this week? I want to get some more work done. I've been doing research on solo RPG. Um, and I want to run a solar a solo RPG session for my I described it to Silva as the story drank too many energy drinks but had ADHD. Oh my goodness. Energy drinks don't really do anything for me. I'm that odd one out that like energy drinks and coffee and stuff will like calm me down, and it's this thing where like I know there's like a chemical explanation for it, right? Where like as a person with ADHD, like how do someone explained it to me one time, or like I figured it out one time when I was reading some stuff about it, that like so normally people with ADHD um have a lower baseline dopamine level, and so because of that, our brains are constantly on panic mode, looking for any source of dopamine in order to bring the dopamine up to the baseline level, which is why we're so hyperactive, because our brains are just constantly searching for some source of dopamine, any source of the good brain chemicals, um, to uh to reach, to get up to baseline at the very least, right? And that expresses itself in us being hyperactive. But whenever we drink energy drinks, or at least this is, I know what happens to me, um, when I drink energy drinks or coffee, it brings, it turns on the dopamine production. So then the dopamine production comes up to the baseline of where everybody else sits at. And all of a sudden, I'm no longer in emergency mode. And since I'm no longer in emergency mode anymore, I'm not hyperactive, because I'm not desperately looking for some kind of activity and some source of dopamine anymore, because I've reached the baseline and my body can finally relax. And being in emergency mode, yeah, um being in emergency mode for so long is exhausting, but you don't feel it until you finally drink the coffee and you get above the baseline. So like, I know some people who, like, they drink coffee religiously in order to combat their ADHD, in order to combat their stuff, where like they do the stuff where like they're constantly drinking coffee so that way they stay above the baseline of dopamine in order to stay constantly going. But then if they if they don't have their coffee, instead of going into that panic mode to like constantly look for some activity that's going to give them dopamine, they just shut down and pass out, get tired. Um, so if I understand that properly, that's how it chemically works. Um, and like I could, if it's a thing where like if I wanted to use energy drinks or coffee to give me energy, I would have to be consuming them on like an industrial level, like an industrial quantity of energy drinks. I would have to be drinking them every day, multiple times a day, and be completely reliant on them in order to get any level of functionality. And even then, it would be extremely limited and extremely expensive. That's why when people are like, "Do you want to try this?" and I'm like, "That's not going to help me. Like one can of an energy drink isn't going to help me. If anything, it's just going to make it hard for me to fall asleep." Like you ever get to that point where like you're super tired, but you can't fall asleep. Like there's like some wall you keep hitting where you just can't sleep. Yeah, exactly. So like I was watching Critical Role the other day, and it caused me to do a lot of like introspection, right? Um, and stuff got really deep. because like yesterday's Critical Role episode was intense, was super intense. Um, but not in the we're gonna die kind of way, but in the character building, world building kind of way. There was all this lore and stuff about the world that was revealed. The characters got a whole bunch of stuff and had some really deep interactions. And so currently, the party is split, and the story is following one half of the party, and they got two guest stars come on and help round out the party in order to help them through the stuff. And these two these two guests built their characters specifically to insert themselves into the campaign. They built you can tell that these people knew what they were doing. They had a specific goal they wanted to achieve in the campaign, and they built their characters custom built to achieve that goal. Um and uh it has been interesting seeing where like the regular cast members, their characters are built around different ideas or thoughts and theories, but they're all still very individualistic. Like some of them maybe like in pairs where they interact with other people in pairs or in triplets, or like they have some kind of group dynamics, right? But the entire group itself they're very individualistic as much as they work together. But then seeing these two characters come in with their characters custom built to directly interface, plug perfectly in to two other characters' backstories has been so interesting. And like, one of the characters in campaign 3 is a robot, right? And one of the one of the guest stars is playing another robot, and both robots are from this, like they're from the same fallen civilization, so they have a lot in common, and they are able to understand each other. And like my mecha loving heart loves seeing robots explore some of the existential questions of their own existence, right? The existential questions that keep people up at night. And seeing as they struggle through this while trying to find their place in the world, while dealing with these much bigger threats that are going on around them, but still realizing and making the decision that their own personal situations are important enough that in the midst of everything going on around them, they make time to explore these personal interactions and to explore these existential questions which plague them. And it's in those quiet moments, whenever they're delving into these things, that just you see so much character development with them. And I wasn't sure what the other robot was going to do. I didn't know if it was going to be best friend or whatever. But then, like, two of the characters were talking, and then the robot's like, I don't know what to do with this, but I think I have a crush on the other robot. And that was what the guest said. And I was like, what? I'm thinking, so because of how slow burn things like romance tend to be on Critical Role, because it's the story stretched out over such a long, like 100 episode arc or whatever, right? 150. I was expecting it to be another like 2 to 3 episodes before that character made a move on that crush. I was expecting that revealing of the crush to be the moment. But then, like a scene later, there was this conversation about like, what does it mean to have a person? What does it mean to have someone be your person? And I'm like, oh wow, they're going so fast. And then it turned into a kiss. Two robots clanking their faces against each other. Well, one was going in for the guest was going in for a cheek kiss, and then Um, the other character saw it happening and turned his face into a lip kiss. So there's just these two robots with semi-stationary faceplates, just like bumping the metal of their lips together. Um, and it was just so great. And then seeing how that unfolded as the story progressed, and finding out that um, there's a chance that the players might be able to actually save the world and save the gods. I won't go into all of it because this isn't a Critical Role stream. But yeah, they found, like, my theory is that there's still a chance for them to stop this and for them to save the gods. And I think that's going to be what we see happening in the next portion of the campaign, is the characters unfold as this unfolds, and the characters start working together to try to save the world. And someone mentioned that, like, right now, the current threat is a threat that's been building up pretty much. And, like, there's one of the party members, a different party member, who's actually in the other group that hasn't been playing for the last few weeks, as a person that they contact. And I don't know much because I'm still new to Critical Role. I don't have the mental capacity, the mental energy to go back and rewatch old episodes. I can only watch an episode if I watch it with people. If I'm watching it with people and I can talk and react to things happening as they happen. So I have to watch it in a watch party. So I don't know, but all I know is that one of the characters, one of the other living characters, one of the other mortal characters, has a person that they like send messages to via Sending Stone, who, like, is kind of their person that they, like, care about. I don't know if it's like their son or if they're or close relative. I know that character's husband is dead, but I think they had, like, a kid somehow, or I don't know all of it. I know that there's loss involved there. But anyway, the character has someone that is a close person to them that they use a Sending Stone. A Sending Stone lets you send one telepathic message per day, and to whoever has the other Sending Stone, because they come in pairs. And so that person has the other Sending Stone. And so in the quiet moments, that character, his name is Orm, will, when he's on watch or whatever, he'll send messages to that person in the quiet moments. And it's this deep, like, emotional thing. And then I was saying, okay, I know that guests aren't forever. Guests are not going to be here forever. They're guest stars for a reason. They're only temporary characters, so they have to leave the story at some point, right? We all know that. That is one of the mechanics of Critical Role. And I'm saying, now that the robot has a relationship with this other guest character, as long as he doesn't, like, die in some, like, blaze of glory or something emotional, now FCG, that's the robot, will have someone to sending in the quiet moments. In the quiet moments, whenever he's on watch, whenever he's not doing anything else, he'll have someone to send a message to, in order to, like, tell about his day or to send letters to. He'll have a person to send things to. But I swear, Matthew Mercer, if you engineer some situation to make this robot die, to make this guest character die in some big emotional scene, I will cry. I will ugly cry. And then there's the unresolved thing that, like, the guest character, the guest robot Frida, might be a werewolf. Because they got bit by a werewolf during an altercation and they had to make a con save and they only got a 10. And this is metagaming. This is metagaming. But someone looked it up and the con save to resist lycanthropy is normally 12. And he got a 10. We don't know what ill effects because it normally takes time and you don't see anything till the next full moon. So we don't know what's gonna happen. We know a spell cast on him had a burning effect instead of a healing effect. Like, or it stung a little bit instead of the normal just protective spell. But we don't know if that was just flavor or what have you, because it was somebody else. It wasn't Matt that said that, right? And that is how it is with lycanthropy. We're not going to know until the next full moon. And I swear, if this is a thing where something happens and Frida, that's the guest robot, turns into a werewolf and loses control, and FCG has to kill Frida, or maybe FCG loses control and goes into attack mode and ends up killing Frida, I will ugly cry. I will sit here and ugly cry. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. There will be tears. There will be blood. No, there will be tears. That'll be me. But it's great to see the story unfolding. Ugh. Like, every time I go on Twitter, I see bad news. And it's like, when I went on Twitter before, I used to see cute animal pictures, VTuber stuff, memes, all that stuff. And now I just keep seeing all these things about all the stuff that's going wrong in the world. And like, I talked to my therapist about it, and my therapist was like, you don't want to start turning you don't want to start turning a blind eye to people's suffering, and you don't want to be completely like ignorant of the experiences of other marginalized individuals. And that's very true. But the important thing to do whenever you see people suffering, whenever you see things going wrong, is to look for what you can do. To look for what you can do, to look for how you can help, to look for, even if it's a little way, even if it's a little bit, what role can you play in trying to help, using what position or privilege you have to help other people. And that's been something I've been looking for. And it's been an interesting experience. All right. All right, let's change up the music and get ready. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's stream. Let's change up the music a little bit. Ooh, got some nice EDM going. Oh, let me turn on the volume here. There we go. Just a hair. Also, one funny thing is, like, in Critical Role, the two groups are split up, and we've been following one half, right? So we have no clue what's happening with the other half. And this half, while they started struggling and going through some hard stuff, they have faced hardships, but they've come out the other side. They've become lauded as heroes. They're being given all of these, like, noble accolades and all of these royal boons, right? And discovering all of this important stuff. And I said, it's gonna be really funny if after all this, right? Actually, somebody else expressed it too, but they expressed it a little bit better. But it's gonna be really funny if, like, you have this one group that's being lauded as heroes, and the other group is just struggling in the mud with no one to help them. And someone said it's going to be really interesting because this group just got a new set of clothes and now they look all fancy, and we're all expecting some cool character arts to look really cool with the new outfits that they just got, because they as part of their royal boon they got for saving this kingdom, was they said they wanted new clothes, so they go to the best they got a coupon for whatever they wanted from the best tailor in town. And it's going to be interesting when someone said it's going to be interesting when the two groups meet up, if one group is like super fancy with all these amazing duds, this amazing clothing, which I still don't like that. I don't know how to feel about the fact that duds is slang for clothing, but whatever. Anyway, so you've got this one side that is that is going to be super well dressed, and then if the other side comes at it with different outfits too, but their outfits are different because they have battle damage, they have torn armor, they have shredded clothing, they have new scars and battle wounds. It's going to be really interesting to see how all of that pans out. Anyway, let's okay. Okay. Oh, whoop. There we go. Cool. All right. So but I still have these two left that are the two really hard ones for the challenge. And I've got the extra arena to climb up, which does 20 of those to climb up. Let's see how much I remember. It's been a little while. Okay, so I have all the head, the core, and the arms. There's a lot of legs I have to get. There are so many legs. And some of them are just bad. I might just buy all of the boosters. I don't know if these help me at all for my playstyle, having any of these. I like this 4-barrel energy cannon. That looks really fun. There's not that many back units. That's funny. Oh, wow. There's not even 2 pages worth of arm units. Oh, right arm units. Okay. So it's kind of feasible for me to get all the parts. I don't know if I can redo mission. Let's try the let's try some more of the extra arena. Let's get started with that. Paranoia and Paradox. These are 2 of them that work together. More of these duos. We got the weapon arms. One's got the beam cannon, and the other one's okay. And the other one's got, what's that? Rockets, some other things. Royal Mist is kind of easy mode, and I want to try it a little bit off easy. Try it with Apple Boy. He's the one we took the entrance exam with. Yeah, let's try it with Apple Boy. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Don't need to view the replay. Just did my part. 7K. Okay. The Merman King and Cascade. Ooh. Ooh, that's an energy shotgun. This is gonna be messy. That one has an interesting. This is gonna be an interesting matchup. Could do Huntress. That's funny. Whenever I see Fragile, I think of Fragile from Armored Core 4 Answer. And they're so different. Because the Fragile in 4 Answer was a high-speed machine with high-power machine guns that just filled the air with lead. Let's go, Apple Boy. Okay. Wow, almost took down both of them. We just have to take down the leader, and I'm technically the leader, so as long as I don't go down, the team keeps fighting. Alright, flag up backbreaker. Missiles. Ooh, this is going to be a rough fight. Maybe. We'll see. It's got pursuit missiles. It's got missile arms with pursuit missiles, an extra ammo backpack, extra ammo things on the back. That one's got energy cannons, a high heat rifle, and a laser blade. And that, what is that on the extensions? I don't know what that is on the extension. But because those aren't dual energy cannons, it's gonna have, I mean, it might as well be more ammo for the one. Okay. I like that the leader always spawns to my right, so I just go to my right and start shooting that one. Oh, excuse me. Okay. It ignored me. Do not ignore me. That is not conducive to staying alive, ignoring me. High-powered machine gun plus howitzer too strong. Oh, so there was someone you do fight Appleboy in the first one. I can see why those two work together. They're definitely newer. Alright, let's do this, then I'll save before I fight Fragile. Oh, this one might be messy. High-powered machine gun plus laser blade on the back missiles. Howitzer, or no, it's a shotgun. Dusters, drones, parry blade. Okay. Hmm. Having them take on Appleboy while I just keep moving around and serve as a moving target's been helpful. Alright, let's save. How much have I earned? It's 18511. Ooh, okay. 188, so it's 300, okay. Oh, 30. And 30k, okay. At this rate, I should be able to make it to the end of the arena, but then I have to actually go out and do the... Ooh, it might be messy. I don't know. I move fast enough that a lot of things don't become a problem. A lot of people just start targeting Appleboy. He has a lot of AP with his crest build. And while they're targeting the easier target that is Appleboy, I'm able to just blow through them. Ooh. That was almost bad. I just dealt more damage faster. Alright. Oh, this might be rough because that's a lot of HP. And they're doing the same kind of setup I am, except they've got missiles on the back. Oh, I mean, I'm faster, but this might be a problem. Okay. Yeah, they just do more damage than I do. Ah. They just do so much, like, well, it's not that they do more damage, they just have more HP. They have twice as much HP. Let me try with Royal Mist, who's the best partner, see if that makes a difference. Okay, let's try this one out. Yeah, they're all floating at like 9,000 HP. Oh my gosh, we almost had that one. I was able to maneuver through that. Okay. That was really close. Let me retry that because that one was really close. Yeah, having Royal Mist as a partner made a big difference. That was close. I thought I was a goner when I ran out of energy because I pushed it too far. Ooh, ooh, that was rough. That was a rough fight. I hope I got a good payout for that one. Ugh. Because they use the same strategy I do, so it's just like, eh. They just have more HP. These ones shouldn't have nearly as much HP, and it's like we got one that's designed for close range. They're both designed for close range, so this should be interesting. The sword and the shield. I want to see if I can go back to Apple Boy now. Okay, that was fine. I just had to maintain distance. Just had to maintain distance and I was fine with that fight. Let me save. Good, good. Making more credits. But I get another 50,000. Yeah, another 50 some odd thousand. Every credit's just more parts that I can buy and carry over to the next game. If they have OP Intensify, this is gonna be rough. Rifle, sniper rifle, missiles. That plasma cannon is gonna be a problem. I don't even know what that is. Is that a radar on the back there? Alright, Apple Boy. They have an anti-missile system, but you should be able to burn through their stuff. Okay. Alright, that was fine. That was fine. I'm doing fine as long as I don't face the ones with the ridiculous amounts of armor. Good, good. Ah, more cannons. That blade wave one could be annoying. Those rockets could be a problem. Okay, that went fairly well. These fights are a lot easier when the enemy has to split their attention. Street enemy. Ooh. I think that was the one we worked with that one mission that I ended up losing. I always lose. I think static. I think the one on the left is the leader. I don't know. We'll see. There should be an option for like doing this solo for extra challenge. Oh, I was shooting the wrong one. Oh, good job, Apple Boy. Apple Boy cleaned up the mess. I was fighting the wrong one. I was fighting blatantly the wrong one. Oh goodness. Okay. Let's clear rank 10 and then I'll save before I go into the next threat. What's this? Got Midas. Ooh, another high armor one. Oh, with grenade launchers too. What's that? Energy shield? Ooh, this might be messy because those are both high armor units. All right, let's see what you got, Apple Boy. Might have to switch over to Royal Mist for this one. Okay. That was a lot of high heat. That was a mess. Staying targeted on the right target was problematic, but focusing fire was what got me. $40K credits. That was a jump. Went up from like 20K for the last one to 40K? What? I wonder if I can make it all the way to the top. I don't know, Ace and BB, like, those ones are going to be problematic. I know they are. Because I won't be able to use, just rely on Royal Mist for that last bit, you know? Then again, this was, like, I've beaten all of these characters individually. Machine gun, slug launcher, missiles, blade, energy rifle. Extra thrusters. Oh, that's an energy shield. Okay. I don't understand the double missile design because you can only fire one of them at a time. It's essentially just extra ammo for your missiles. I guess it just looks cool. Those are also the small missiles, so maybe it could just be to look cool. That was when I should start earning the real credits. Okay. Like, I know this is a strong strategy because this is what I use to clear some of the late game bosses. $50,000. Good, good. This is another duo, isn't it? Yeah, this is another duo. High speed, close range one. With pairing, blade, shotgun, rockets. Grenade launcher, shotgun. Ooh, this is gonna be some heavy damage. I hope the Hozumi is the leader, not the Tsukuyo. Because if it's the Tsukuyo, I'm gonna have a problem. Definition most sci-fi. Yep, it looks cool. That's so true, Nabiru. Okay, so it is the. Okay. All right. That was a lot of movement. I just had to aim my box up slightly in order to hit them while they were flying. Ballast and Fixer. Grenade cannon, blade wave, high heat machine gun, moonblade. Both of them have missiles of different kinds. One's got reverse leg, one's got a really stable normal leg with the same thrusters. This will be a mess, but I think we'll be fine. I need to name this this machine because I use it so much. I really should name it. All right. Ooh. I think I got carried there by Apple Boy. They were focusing me, so Apple Boy was able to target them down. Ooh. AI saving my butt. Good, good. Oh, Cypress and Huntress. Is this essentially a rematch of that same fight? No, it's not the same fight. It's not the same machine. But that one with the chain gun is gonna have to stop moving. That's the main one. Not super sold on that one. So Cypress is the leader. I want to see something. Hold on. Oh, I can use Huntress against Huntress. That's funny. Time and space is mine to command. I don't know what that one's gonna do with its chain gun though. 'Cause it's gonna have to stop moving to fire the chain gun. If it stops moving, I just shoot it. I just shoot it to shreds. Oh, it has OP Intensify and it can fire while still moving. Let's try it with Royal Mist because that actually got fairly close. These are getting harder. I might not be able to keep doing these with Apple Boy. Especially if they have if they can fire. Moving in 3 dimensions is one of my greatest weaknesses at this game. Ooh. That was bad. Maybe I should have taken down Huntress first. Let me retry that. That was bad. Might have hit my wall. Might have to go start doing missions after this. I want to see if I can redo missions and keep earning money. Ugh. I lost. Thought I was winning. I was doing good in the beginning, and then it just all fell apart. All right, let's start doing some missions. I want to do some testing. I'll come back to this. I'm almost to the top. I might not make it all the way to the top here. Oh, 190,000. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's take this for a ride. All right, so let's see what we got here. Recover data capsules. That's interesting. But I want to see. I want to see if I complete this mission, whether I make any money. So right now I'm at 220 something. Let's save my state. Save the slot 3.
After much interrogation, the Union operative that we detained gave us the local. Union is the group responsible for plans to overthrow the controller, and other Sector 614 is a conservation area, lush with vegetation. According to our scouts, Union uses this cover to conceal a massive frontal assault would be suicide, while a small mobile force. This will be a dangerous mission.
All right, got a consort. Okay.
Enemy strength in the area is unknown. Move quickly.
Let's have to destroy all the gun emplacements. Oh, so it's to my right.
Two down. There are three left.
Where's that coming from?
Only two more remaining. Just one more to go.
Should have brought a high power radar. All right, let's see what happens when I. Let's see what happens when this goes off. If I didn't lose anything. Ooh. Let's go with Spark. He's got a lot of armor, so he'll withstand these attacks pretty well. Okay.
Main system engaging combat mode.
trying. I hear something. I hear it.
Two down. There are three left.
Got one on my right, one on my left. Where are these things? Okay, I hear one. Oh, he lasted longer than the other one did. Get out. I'm gonna try a different mission. I'm not getting hit by any cannons. Alright, let's... I want to do that mission. Radar range 560. Okay. Radar range 890. Can I get a longer range one? Nope, that's the one I have. 780. Nope, longest range available. Okay. All right, let's try that now.
After much
Okay. Oh, excuse me. Goodness. Now let's see if this lets me, if this gives me any cool data.
That's one. 4 to go. Two down. There are 3 left. Only 2 more remaining.
I'm taking fire.
Just 1 more to go. All targets destroyed.
Okay.
Incoming transmission. Crest has an urgent assignment. Union's headquarters has been confirmed. They are preparing an attack. It's up to you whether or not to take part. If you're interested, please meet up with the transport.
Well, where else would I go? I'm gonna go left.
The transport is leaving. Mission request declined.
Mission objective achieved.
Okay.
System switch to normal.
So I didn't do the bonus quest. All right, so I made 16,000 for another D level mission. 2267. Yep, I make it. All right. So, I can redo the same mission over and earn funds. Okay. All right. Let me go to the garage and buy up a bunch of parts. Um, I want to get all the legs. I will get all the boosters though. Uh, uh, okay, so I have all the head, the core, the arms, the boosters, the FCS, the generators, the radiators. Uh, okay. All right. You're slowly getting all the parts. All right. Okay. Let's try one of the missions that I didn't get to finish. Mirage doesn't make targeting units. That's funny. Okay. All right, let's find a mission I haven't done yet. This one looks fun. I'll try this one.
Plans are underway to enter Crest's central data storage facility and hack into the computers there. Unfortunately, the facility boasts a formidable security system.
Okay.
The mission's success depends entirely on whether or not this system can be disabled. Make your way to the heart of the facility and shut it down.
Okay, so I have to get to the center.
The hackers and their escorts will take care of the rest. Be careful moving about. One false step and it could be your last.
Okay.
Good luck.
Let's go.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Raven, we've dispersed a gas to reveal any infrared sensors. That's about as much as we can do. Good luck.
The lasers are tripwires for the security system. Avoid touching them.
Cannot unlock gate. Cannot unlock gate.
I'm about to fail this mission.
Defense is damaged.
Hold the
Yeah, no, that definitely not doing that mission.
Controller forces have commenced and they're advancing in groups of 2 or 3, which is hampering our efforts to. Our biggest concern is the ventilation duct. Please head to the ventilation ducts and hold them off. Don't let a single unit get by. Or
Oh, escort transport. I don't know if I want to do an escort transport mission. Oh, destroy the bombers. And water processors. Operation area, marine platform. I'm gonna need hover legs for that. Let's try this. Destroy the AC.
One of our research labs has been attacked. While preoccupied with fending off the assault, an AC infiltrated the lab and made off with the prototype chipset. Their plan worked flawlessly. Once we realized our error, a team was dispatched to intercept the AC. They're engaged in combat with it now, but probably aren't capable of taking it down. Catch up to them as quickly as you can. There's no need to recover the chipset. Just make sure that both it and the AC are destroyed.
Okay. Let's see if I can do this with my energy loadout. I'll probably have to set up because that looks like it has machine gun arms. So we'll see how I do.
Main system in deep combat mode.
Raven, we have to locate the AC. He has the chipset. Forget about those. Find the AC. Finally, a worthy opponent.
Mission objective achieved. System
Okay, that wasn't so bad.
unlocked.
17,000, I'll take it. Ooh, got a special edition of 13. Okay. Ooh, I got new mail. Let's see what's in the mail. Manufactured by Mirage, supplied only to select few. It's an AC back part. Ring, okay. Right arm AC part. Yeah, I'm not even to Terra yet, so I can't even touch Exile. And I'm gonna need OP Intensify if I'm gonna fight against Exile. I spent a good bit of change on getting all those parts. Okay. Take a look at the shop, see what weapons are. Oh, that's where I got that from. Okay. That's how I unlocked that. Okay. I just never read the mail for it. Okay. I was wondering why that just appeared. Ooh, that's that long-range plasma rifle. That's an energy. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. It's only got 20 shots though. It's got almost double the range of the other energy rifle, and almost 8 times the damage. This thing will rock any target it hits. Yes, if it's a lot of damage, use flex tape. Alright, let's try this defend the monorail. I know I'm going to regret it, but I'm going to try these defend missions.
An attack has been launched on our research lab. Thankfully, security forces detected the breach early and were able to get all key employees aboard the monorail and out of harm's way. But for some reason, the power of the monorail has been cut and is just sitting on the tracks. The employees on board are integral to our research efforts and must be protected. Security team is focused on restoring power and safeguarding the lab. Protect the monorail until the power is brought back online.
Ooh, having a consort would be helpful. Oh, this is back before they got, before Huntress even gotten a mech. Uh, all right, let's take the 2 MT pilots out for a test run. To an AC, in addition to heavy armor plating, it also equips a shield used for deflecting incoming rounds. It can't fly but moves quickly through purposes. Alright, let's take it for a test run. Let's see if I can clear this mission. It's just MTs, so it should just be fine. It should just be killing MTs.
Engaging combat mode.
Raven, security says there are MTs heading this way. We still don't have power.
Radar active. Targets closing.
Yeah, I need a better plan. Probably need better legs for that mission. I could take the energy sniper rifle and the energy long range energy rifle and use it for uh
On account of your hard work, control of the Grand Mining Facility has been secured. They know the mine's layout better than our people. Plans are underway for a structural route.
okay. Alrighty.
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
Enemy forces detected. Keep them away from the convoy.
Raven, they damaged the main gate. We can't use it. We'll evacuate from the south. Cover us.
There are more than we expected. Try to draw them away from the evacuation route.
Alright, this isn't going so bad. This isn't going so bad. Getting a rhythm to it. Okay, I'm running low on ammo, so I can't do this for much longer.
The evacuation is complete. Thanks for your help.
Incoming transmission. Mirage has an urgent request. They want you to move to the central terminal. It's up to you whether or not to accept.
How am I going to take this success?
Head to the escape point if you want in.
If this ends up being something stupid, I'm just going to revert back to this.
Mission request accepted. Moving to the central terminal.
Is this one of the things where, like, this is how I get OP Intensify?
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
Raven, we have to locate the AC. He has the chipset. Forget about those. Find the AC.
Oh, this should be fine. Okay, so does this just give me a chance of doing a different mission in addition?
Finally, a worthy opponent.
Mission objective achieved.
Okay,
System switch to normal mode.
that wasn't so bad. And I did it without spending any ammo. I was worried it was going to be something goofy. 34, so that, yeah, that was a pretty good mission. So I think it's a thing where when you complete missions in post game, there's a chance you do a second mission at the same time for extra money. Okay. That makes these missions a lot more valuable. Okay. All right. Let's see if we have time for one more mission before we start winding down for the night. That one looks like it could be really bad. Does rank E mean I failed it? I want to try this mission because rank E bugs me. I think rank E means I did it and I failed it.
It
Oh, is this the one? Is this the one where we had to fight the dude in the basement? Oh, this is the one where yeah, this was the one I failed because I had to fight the dude in the basement. Oh.
Main system. Engaging combat mode.
They're moving more units into the facility. Be careful.
I'll take care of the ones inside. You hold the rest off here.
Okay.
Gate locked. I'm trapped. Are you clear? I'm moving further in. I released the lock. Get in here.
The signal is breaking up. Please go assist.
Gate check. Cannot unlock gate.
I only took a little bit of damage. That was actually a really good run. Let's see how we do now that we're like he's taking a little bit of damage. I'm really good on health, so let's see how well we do.
I'm surprised you made it. Watch it. This guy is good.
I might have to bring my arena machine in order to take this guy down, or just well, I could bring the howitzer. That is a possibility of what I could bring.
I'm surprised you made it. Watch it. This guy is good. Looks like I've still got it.
Ugh.
Halting combat and returning to base.
I gotta come up with a plan for that fight. That's one of the ones that I just lost. Alright, so. Alright. That was still pretty productive. We cleared a couple missions. Or like, I know we cleared at least one mission. Oh, there was two. We bought a bunch of parts. We moved up in the extra arena. Overall, it was a pretty good night. Had fun. I'm Raven rank A. I don't know how that's determined, but all right. Okay, let's wind down for the night. All right. Start chilling out. It's funny, every time you save the game and then you like have to save again just to make sure. All right, let's change up the music a little bit. Something a little bit lighter. All right, so cleared the missions, cleared some extra arena, bought a bunch of parts. Um, the decision I have to make is if I want to max out OP Intensify. In order to do OP Intensify, you have to equip it and then complete certain missions with OP Intensify equipped. With I think there's certain challenges you have to do within each mission. And then as you do each thing, it unlocks a different ability for OP Intensify. And I think OP Intensify, it's essentially like New Game Plus. You can fire cannons without having to kneel down. If you max it out, you have increased generator power, faster recharge. I think maybe larger targeting reticle. I don't remember. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I might look that up. I think we're at the point where I have to start making decisions about what I want to do before we move on to Silent Line. I need to start working on the Silent Line thumbnail actually. For the Silent Line streams. So that's on the list. I'm probably gonna do one, maybe two more post-game Armored Core 3 streams before we move on to Silent Line, and then start chugging our way through that and seeing how that goes. All right, Silva. Good night. Thanks for coming to the stream. It was great having you. But yeah, it was good to play Armored Core again. I haven't played Armored Core in like a month because I've been so wrapped up in making my game. Which I'm not done with that yet. I still have to work on. I'm working on some rules for solo play in order to run a solo play test to test everything out myself. Um, Mainly to create different scenarios and different threats to get a feel for balancing combat. And it's this interesting thing where like the differences between having air quotes tactical combat where your enemies have HP, right? Have health, and narrative combat where you're trying to complete different objectives. And using clocks versus health has been this interesting experience of design. Trying to balance a game that uses both clocks and health is an interesting challenge. All right. See if there's anything cool to talk about on the interwebs. Yeah, trying to balance things, balancing encounters is challenging because so like narrative combat is where combat moves like it's more you have an objective to complete. It's more like you're describing your attacks and the attacks do different things and it's a lot more free form and usually very rules light. Tactical combat is very rules heavy with very specific actions that you can perform. And then those specific actions have very specific outcomes. And usually the objective of tactical combat is to decrease your enemy's health to 0 or complete some other objective that has to do with what's going on. And there's some kind of specific thing that you are going to know that you have to do in order to complete that objective, or you find out throughout the course of the mission. And trying to balance between those two situations, between tactical versus narrative combat, is interesting because for my game, because you can describe your skills almost any way you want, it lends itself towards narrative combat, right? Because you can describe your skills however you see fit. But because of the damage mechanic, it kind of slides back into tactical. So it's this interesting thing that I'm balancing with. And I'm gonna have to do some testing to see where the game falls in that category. I got followed by another GFX Twitter. Funny. Ugh. Apparently some new anime came out that was like everyone was talking about was really inspirational or something. I can't remember what it was called. All I remember was like the cutscene and clip I saw of it had two little children and a toddler, like two little children in looks like a stroller or something, twirling around some glow sticks, and people were saying it's like, don't try watching it unspoiled. It's some like special moment. I'm like, it's probably some kind of a troll thing. Yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah. So, did you hear about Creator Clash this weekend? I think it's like a some kind of fighting tournament between content creators. I think it's boxing. And Marisha Ray uh from Critical Role is going to be competing on Saturday. Is going to be fighting somebody. It's some kind of a charity event. Well, I mean, yeah, it's some kind of a charity event, and they're fighting, but it's nowhere near as bizarre as the chess boxing event that Ludwig put on, where like people would box up, they would box for one round, for one 3 minute round, and then they would have a 3 minute, then they would have a round of playing chess, and it would like lower the chessboard on like this kind of on these wires that would lower down in the middle of the ring, so that they play chess for I think a full round, and then after that they would go back to fighting, and they would go back and forth between chess and boxing. Did you ever hear about that, Nabaru? Oh, people are all weighing in for the big boxing thing. Yeah, that's one of the things I know. I remember I watched a Chris Broad from Abroad in Japan um did uh did that and like won his fight, and did an interview, and he was talking about how intense it was going between the rush of boxing, where it was like very physically challenging, to going to the mentally challenging thing of playing chess and having to switch between those two for 3 rounds, and how brutal that was. It's not, I mean, not that boxing doesn't take um it's not that boxing doesn't take mental focus, because it does. It takes focus of mind, body, and spirit. Um, but it's just a different kind of focus. Like you said, different types of focus. Let's see if there's any cool memes on the Book of Faces. Ooh, here's an interesting thing. You don't attract red flags, you accept them. That's so true. Uh, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Bah, bah, bah. Ooh, here's an interesting one. One thing I'll never understand about adulthood is how I'm supposed to make appointments if I work full time and every place closes at 6 p.m. That's very true. Blacksmith, I'm almost done with this sword. I just have to work out the kinks. Sword. The sword says, I like feet. Blacksmith, shut up. uh, Blacksmith hammers the sword on an anvil. Sword, harder. Blacksmith, defeated. Sigh. No! Well, I gotta show this meme. I gotta show this meme real quick. First thing is girl prays for probably presumably for the grandparent there. Please send an angel. Window gets blown out when one of the Evangelion angels, I think that's Ramiel, the one that shoots the beam and is like impenetrable. Wrong angel. this isn't so much funny as much as it's kind of deep and deals with uh yeah, have you seen Evangelion, Nabaru? Yeah, I finally watched Evangelion and then I watched the Rebuild movies. Um, I don't know. I watched Evangelion. I think I watched End of Evangelion. Um, in order to grasp everything that happened. I think there was one Evangelion thing I didn't watch. Um, but I marathoned a bunch of it to prep for watching End of Evangelion. That was this, not End of it, the Rebuild movies, and that was a special thing. I watched it with my brother. I acquired those movies on my computer, and we watched them in one blitzing evening where we got a bunch of food and we just made a day of it, of blitzing through Evangelion Rebuild movies. And it was a special moment. It was one of the precious moments I have, one of the precious memories I have with my brother. And we were both geeking about it and laughing about it and having fun and enjoying the movie. And I think watching it with him was part of what made it so special for me. I miss watching anime with him. I miss him. He's not dead. I think I talked about this before, but he just made the decision he didn't want me in his life anymore. He decided that the person he was trying to become was someone that that I wouldn't want to be friends with, and decided to preemptively just remove me from his life. And said that, how did he put it? Economically, socially, spiritually, and politically, we were going in opposite directions. My running theory is that he's become an Andrew Tate stan, or one of those things, one of those guys in the manosphere. Because he was all about, brotherhood and developing as a man, and lots of the bodybuilding and always on the grind and looking for ways to get ahead. I wish him the best. I hope whatever he's doing, he's happy. Okay. So there's another one that I want to share. Another thing. It's not really a meme, but it's more of a deep thing that I wanted to talk about for a little bit. Oh, of course it comes out tiny. Of course it comes out tiny. We seldom admit the seductive comfort of hopelessness. It saves us from ambiguity. It has an answer for every question. There's just no point. Hope, on the other hand, is messy. It might all work out, then we have things to do. We must weather the possibility of happiness. And that's something that kind of hits me deep, because like I see so much stuff happening politically. I see I see all the stuff with like all the stuff the Republican Party is doing right now. I can't even see it all because it's so much, right? For these last few weeks that they well it was even before that, but the last few weeks has reached a fever pitch of all of the things that they're pushing for, doing, signing bills in the middle of the night, um, banning representatives, seeing all the things, and like I see all the people talking about, well, go vote. It's the only way to stop this. It's the only way to change this. And it's really tempting to just give up and to say, well, what's the point? If we vote, they're just going to ignore the results of the vote, or they're going to demand a recount, or they're going to do some kind of voter suppression and try to throw out some votes in order to make sure they win because they don't care about playing by the rules. They just care about winning. And they believe that what they're doing justifies their actions. And it's so easy to just want to give up, to just say there's no point, it's nothing. We're just going to pile on into some kind of conflict, civil war thing. Or feeling like if we do stand up, all that's going to happen is it's going to cause a kind of civil war, and then to just want to give up, right? And it's hard really to hang on to hope, because like this post says, hope is messy. Having hope for a brighter tomorrow means that I actually have to figure out what is the right thing for me to be doing right now in order to achieve that hope. Because if there's nothing, if it's all over, I can just give up. I can just do nothing and say it's over, it's out of my hands, there's nothing I can do. But if I hold on to hope, then I have to look for something to do to contribute towards that hope, towards that brighter future. And that's hard. That's heavy. That's something I've struggled with recently. And like I think part of that is why I keep going on Twitter. Well, besides the fact that it's like the only social media place where I'm not connected to all of my family, where I can be Orion. I don't have to be the person that everybody knows me as, right? Like Orion is a name I took for streaming, and it really came to be a name that I love, an identity that I love, and it became a person that I love being. Whenever I'm Orion, whenever I'm streaming or writing or working on stuff, when I'm being Orion, when I'm talking to people as Orion, I have hope, I have strength. Orion has courage. Orion works to accomplish goals and works to inspire others. Because that's who I want to be. It's part of why I, for a while, was looking into legally changing my name to Orion, because I wanted to be that person. I chickened out a little bit. It costs money to change your name, and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. Like I didn't have the money. And if I did have the money, I had other things I needed to spend it on. And that was just really heavy for me. Maybe I might pick that back up. Maybe once my disability stuff comes through, I might look into changing my name to Orion after all the paperwork comes through. because then it'll be easier to change all the paperwork. Because that's the other thing. I don't want to do it while I'm in the middle of a process right now. And that's a big, complicated mess. And the whole thing with my disability is another one of those things that falls into this category, where like I have been waiting for so long with no answer, no response. When I filed for my appeal and my case went back to the Disability Determination Service, my lawyer's office told me I had 45 days till it would take about 45 days for them to give me a response. First I thought, oh, 45 days, that's not bad. Then I realized they meant 9 weeks. They meant 45 business days. Well, that 9 weeks came and passed almost a year ago. And it's been this nightmare of like I'm just squeaking by on my temporary disability, right? And my temporary disability is being borrowed against whatever I'm expected to get whenever I get my disability, right? Which, as long as I get disability, is fine. Everything's cool, hunky-dory, amazing, outstanding, right? I get some money now that's being borrowed against that, and then as long as I get that later, it comes out, everything's smooth, hunky-dory, right? But it's hard not to lose hope whenever it feels like I'm just constantly in this cycle of just waiting. Like whenever I get the letter from my lawyer's office, and my lawyer's office says, we checked in with Social Security and your case is still at the Disability Determination Service. If they send you anything, make sure to respond back in 10 days. I've gotten that letter like 2, maybe 3 times so far. So I know the case is still active. And I'm in this situation where like even if, right, I were to miraculously be able to hold a job, right? If I were to able to get a job, like if I were to just have a job fall in my lap that was perfectly made to help me, that had accommodations and everything that could function for me, a work from home job that would let me pick my own hours and would understand if I went like a few days at a time non-functioning, right? Some kind of a thing, right? Even if I had a job like that plop itself in my lap right now, if I like I'm going to be starting with a handicap because I'm going to have to pay back all of the money I've gotten back in temporary disability. Because once I get a job, my disability case goes out the window. Which is so messed up that they just like they put you in this catch-22. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about all this on stream. It's just heavy because trying to hang on to hope is hard because hope is messy. But I guess what I want to say after being kind of real with that and heavy is that while hope is messy, hope is worth it, because if we don't have hope, things will never get better. There is no possibility of things getting better if we don't have hope and if we don't work towards achieving our goals and making our dreams a reality. So hang on to hope. Sorry, that got really heavy. Oh, did you hear that the sequel to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, their Ganondorf is getting voiced by Matt Mercer from Critical Role? Well, from a lot of things, but ooh, this is an interesting comic. It's a comic where someone's fighting Scarlet Witch. I don't want to show it because it's probably copyrighted. Uh, and someone in armor is like saying you're fighting Scarlet Witch is like, you're not my first sorceress. Who needs iron for all your spells and hexes? Not one of you could ever take a punch. But then Scarlet Witch gets back up and is like ready to take mine. And it's like, oh. And the caption someone put under it is like, when you're from the Steve Rogers School of Fighting, you definitely can take a punch. And that's really funny because I remember when I used to read the Marvel like database wikis and stuff that would like list powers and information and backstory. I wasn't reading comic books as much as I was reading about comic books, which is a very important distinction because I read a lot about comic books. I've read a lot more about comic books than I've actually read comic books. Um, and there were so many superheroes where like in the database it would classify like long range powers and then close range powers. And for so many heroes, um, for so many Marvel heroes, it would say close range power trained in hand to hand combat by Steve Rogers. And that was just people's close range power. That was just the close range power that they were trained by Steve. Bosch dropped out of a Zoom meeting because his cat learned how to unplug desktop computer when he's hungry. Direct action. I do want to clarify something, right? Um, I know I talked about like my job situation and how my temporary disability borrows from my eventual disability back payment, right? And how if a job fell in my lap that had everything I needed, that I would be starting behind because I'd have to pay back all the money I've gotten in temporary disability, right? I want to clarify that like I am not attempting to abuse the system. If a job fell in my lap that specifically said they would um said that they would accommodate me, and it was something that I honestly believed I could do, um that had the things that I need in order to function, I would take it. It would um it'd be messy, it'd be complicated. I would have a big debt that I'd have to pay off, but I'd pay it off eventually. If it was something where I could be gainfully employed. Um, Now, it's not realistic to think that's going to happen because the list of needs that I have because of my disability is so great. Um, and I guess that's another area where I need to hold out hope. Um, and I don't know what that hope looks like. But I did want to clarify that I'm not just gonna try to abuse the system. Um, but yeah, just wanted to clarify that. I saw there's a post there. Hold on, let me get. One of my greatest joys in life is when Jeff calls the vet to make an appointment and they ask for his name, like the cat's name. He says Jeff. Oh no, they're asking for his name. Says Jeff. Then they ask for our cat's name, and I watch him gather his strength before he tells them Baby Jeff. Uh, hold on. Gotta share one more meme, then we're gonna wind down for the night. When you're pooping so long, the automatic bathroom lights shut off. I used to just flail my arms around in order to turn the lights back on. But sometimes it'd be nice to just stay in the dark. I had a funny conversation with my therapist the other day. And like we were talking about my schedule. My therapist was like, "You seem to spend more time in bed than you spend on your feet." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Why is that?" And I had to like pause for a second. I was just like, "That's why I'm here." Well, I didn't say that, right? But in my head, I'm thinking, "That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking to you. That's part of my disability." I was able to eventually make her understand, but I don't think she got it. She's like, "Oh, you're a night owl." And I'm like, "Sure." It's like, uh, oh my gosh. I just watched a hot dog machine completely mess up. Ooh, speaking of angels, one last meme. One last meme before we do the outro. The other day I saw someone post, "What if the first person that saw an angel was just super high and saw a peacock?" Then today I saw this. Looking at the peacock with the feathers, if you think all of those dots on the feathers are actually eyes, then like, that could, biblically accurate angels is just a peacock. All just a peacock. One of the comments, someone said, if you've ever heard a peacock scream in the pitch black dark, "Be not afraid" isn't the phrase that comes to mind. "I need new underwear" is more appropriate. Ah. All right. What? I just saw a thing on Facebook where someone's like melting down plastic bottle caps in their oven. And I'm like, don't do that. You will release so many toxic fumes. Don't do that. You will release so many toxic fumes in your house. You need to do that in a very well ventilated building. What are they making? They're making a cutting board? Yeah, looks like they're making a cutting board. Neat. All that for a cutting board, saving up bottles. Like, the 5-minute crafts always make me laugh when they're like far more work to do the thing uh than to just go buy a thing. And that's because like mass production makes things simpler and easier. Um and at some point you're doing the craft to do the craft, not to get the thing. Because if you're just trying to get the thing, it would be easier to pay someone else to make the thing for you. Um my gosh, I just did the thing. I did the haha react when I meant to do the care react. No, I'm gonna get canceled. All right. Anyway, let's wind down for the night. We've had our chats. You've watched me play some video games. Uh, it was good to get back around to gaming. I haven't done that in a while. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I don't know when the next stream is when. Okay, I know when the next stream is going to be. I just don't know what I'm going to be doing for it. We'll see. Anyway, so let's wind down. Let's say my goodbyes. As usual, I like to say nice things about all of my viewers. So to Silva, to Duelist Otaku Naberu, to anyone else who watched the stream and didn't say anything, and for everyone who watches this VOD afterwards, I want to say that I love all of you. I believe in each and every one of you, and I think that you all are wonderful, truly special, one of a kind, and unique. I believe that each one of you makes this world a better place just by being in it, and I'm grateful every day to live in a world with you in it. I want you to know that you are worthwhile, valuable, and important. Your hopes and dreams are special and worthwhile. And also, always remember, your value as a person will never be dependent on what somebody else thinks of you or what you're worth to someone else. You have a value of a person. You have a value as a person all your own, just for existing. You are a valuable and worthwhile person. Always remember that. With that said, always remember the Star Hunter motto, and I thank you for being a part of this community. The motto goes, shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy the meal. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing here on YouTube, feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already and ding the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live or when I release any new content. If you ever have friends, family, other individuals you think might enjoy my content, feel free to invite them to stream or to show them any of my content. I'm always looking to expand and add more people to the community. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter or join my Discord. Links to both of those are in the description below. With that said, I want you to understand you never have to donate to be a member of this community. You don't have to pay to be welcome here. Just your time and your attention is payment enough. With that said, if you ever feel motivated to donate to improve my stream or to improve my life, I would welcome that. And there are links where you could do that in the description down below. thank you all for coming and thank you for making tonight's stream wonderful with your presence. Next stream is going to be Monday night, 8:30 p.m. EST. Don't know what we're going to be doing yet, but that's going to be next stream. I will see you all then. Have yourselves a wonderful night and have yourselves a great weekend.